Okay, so let's have a look at Harrington 2022 production budget question. So using this question, you'll be given information about two products that they're going to produce. So they're producing Golden at 360, Portland at 410. This is an important piece of information. So all stocks are to be decreased by 10% from their opening levels by the 31st of the 12th, 2023, and are valued using FIFO. So the first part A, is where you're going to have to prepare a production budget. So basically what that is trying to figure out how many units we have to produce for that product. So remember, management accounting is looking to the future. So it's telling us here that sales are expected to be 15,200 for Golden, 8,400 for Portland. Stock of finished goods on the 1st of the 1st, 2023 are expected to be Golden, 9,000 units at €210 each, in Portland, 750 units at $290. So that's important because that links into how much all stocks are to be decreased by. So what we have to do is we have to find how many units we have to produce for Golden. Then we have to find out what is our closing stock to add that on. And then we're going to take away our opening stock, because that stock, if that's our opening stock at the start of the year, well then that should be used throughout the year. So if it's 900 at the start of the year, it's going to be used for the months for that year. So the 31st or the 12th, our closing stock is going to be 10% less than this. So your layout is going to be your sales, which is taken from this part here of 15,200. We have to add our closing stock to it, because that's how many units we have to produce for that period. Now remember, our closing stock is going to decrease by 10% based on our opening stock figure. So if our opening stock is 900, if it's 10% less, if we multiply that by 90%, that's going to give us our closing stock figure. So we're going to add our closing stock, which is 810 to 15,200, and then we need to take away our open stock, which is 900, and that's going to tell us how much you need to produce of those units for this period. Okay, so you need to produce 15,110. Then we're going to do for Portland. So Portland sales are expected to be 8,400. Their closing stock is 750, but remember that's going to decrease by 10%. So we're going to multiply by 90%. It's just a quicker way to do it. You could do it down here. You could do 12,200. You could multiply the 900 multiplied by 10%. It's going to be 90, so it should be 900. It's going to be 90. Then you're going to take the 90 away from the 900 and you get 810. It's the same up here. So your opening stock, 750. You're going to multiply that by 10%. Then you're going to take them away. And you're going to get the same figure. So I need to put points in there. So our closing stock is going to be 675. So you need to add that to 8,400. Then you take away our closing stock, which is 750. So that means that we need to produce 8,325 units of Portland. So your first one, very straightforward. Your production budget, sales, add our closing stock, because that's what we have at the end of the year. Take away your opening stock, because we're going to use that. And then that's going to give you a production in units, how much you need to produce for Golden and for Portland. And that's prepared production budget in units.